Okay, I'd like to call the Site Plan Review Committee to order for Tuesday, May 6, 2025. Roll call, please.
Mayor Kadowski.
Here.
Gary Paul.
Here.
Dennis Persick.
Here.
Dale Quinn.
Here.
Dan Pampern.
Here.
Carrie Rathburn.
Here.
And Andy Krowski's excused.
Okay, please stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And please remember our men and women throughout the world in uniform. I have no changes to the agenda. I need a motion.
I'll make move to approve.
We have a motion and a second to approve the agenda as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed. Motion carried. Number 5A, action on the minutes of April 15, 2025 Site Plan Review Committee.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve those minutes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed. Motion carried. 6, items for discussion and possible action. 6A, consider, discuss, act on a site plan review for a temporary sign package for Nativity of Our Lord Parish at 2270 South Oneida Street, parcel VA-99-1-2. Will.
Thank you. So it looks like we have a little bit of technical difficulties, so we won't be able to share screen up here, but I'll go through this real quick. So Nativity of Our Lord Parish, as the applicant and owner, is requesting site plan review for proposed signage referencing their annual car raffle. This is something that is held every year in Ashwaubenon and consists of the following signs. It is a 96-inch by 46-inch rolling message board sign, as well as a 10-foot inflatable tube man. There are pictures attached in the packet as well. These signs are taken down at the end of each day and will be up for the duration of the raffle essentially whenever they are selling tickets, which is set to go from about May 12th to June 22nd. The primary reason behind the site plan need is actually just the length of time, because it's more than 4 weeks, which would normally be granted by staff. It comes down to about 6 weeks. That being said, this is the normal, or this is something that has occurred year after year, and there haven't been any issues in the past. There is no one here, so but I should be able to answer any questions you may have.
Okay, this is what the package that they have every year for their church picnic, correct?
Identical.
I got one question. Does the safety department, the blue scaggly man blowing around on probably the busiest intersection in the village, is that an issue?
It hasn't been an issue the past 3 years they've had it. So really no issues at all from public safety.
Nothing at all.
And typically when they set it up, I know in the past years, it's actually set up pretty close to the church, actually, like the church physical building. So it's not even close to the intersection.
Okay. All right, I'll move to approve the parcel VA-991-2 for the signage they're proposing.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the temporary signage for Nativity of Our Lord Parish at parcel VA-99-1-2. Any other comments, questions, concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed. Motion carried. Thank you, Will. Okay. 6B, consider, discuss, act on a site plan review for Mr. Car Wash at 2314 South Oneida Street, parcel VA-99-4-2. Aaron.
All right, thank you. As Will noted, there are some technical issues right now, so I can't show the site plan or the elevations up on screen, but they were included in your packet. I should note that the elevations in the packet have changed to comply with our limitation on exterior insulation foam systems, or EIFS. So they did submit a revised elevation that now meets that requirement. In short, the request is for a new car wash by Mr. Car Wash located on the property that is currently, or I guess formerly, the Kentucky Fried Chicken Long John Silver's property, which has been vacant for a while now. Proposal is to demo that building and to build a new roughly 4,800 square foot car wash on that property. There will be accessory vacuum bays and vehicle queuing area that does meet our requirements for car wash queuing areas. It should be noted that a car wash is a permitted use within the B3 Community Business Zoning District, which is what this property is zoned. It does meet all of the dimensional standards under our zoning code, and it does meet the 25% minimum green space also under our code. There are a total of 15 parking spaces and 18 vehicle stacking spaces, again, which exceeds actually the minimum for a car wash under our code. The exterior includes basically a mixture of stone veneer, smaller amount of EFIS, split face, masonry block, metal wall panels, and aluminum storefront window systems. There is a entrance and pay canopy be on the south side of the property. You can see where the arrows indicate entrance, wrapping around the building. You can then continue on to the vacuum bays or turn right into the car wash itself. Should be noted that architectural metal wall panels, as we know it, are required to use fully concealed fasteners. And I noted the EFIS limitation on that. Full site ingress and egress is planned from both existing South Oneida Street driveway access points. In terms of recommended conditions of approval, I'll just note those. As I mentioned, use of fully concealed fasteners for exterior wall panels. Screen any rooftop or ground mounted mechanical units visible from the property boundaries or public right-of-way. EFIS is limited to no more than 30% of a building's cumulative wall surface area, and any one wall surface may not exceed 40% EFIS. Meet all applicable requirements of the Ashwaubenon site plan review and all other applicable village ordinances. From engineering, obtain a Brown County highway permit for the driveway widening. The existing roadway is integral curb with pavement. They'll need to profile cut curbing to widen the driveway. Show the driveway opening at curb flow line and width. Coordinate traffic control plan with Brown County Highway and Village during driveway work on South Oneida Street. The driveway apron and sidewalk must be 6-inch thick concrete. Coordinate with building inspection during the connection of existing storm, sanitary, and water for on-site inspections. Remove the use of the detectable warning strip on the sidewalk, and then submit revised engineering plans for the village engineer review and approval. No other comments except forestry. Forestry did recommend approval. The landscape plan is presented, noted nice species selection. If you have any questions regarding the proposal, I'm happy to answer them. Otherwise, the applicant team is in the audience as well.
Okay, does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns? I guess I'm gonna actually defer to our person that we have on this board that is kind of a car wash expert and ask him if he has any questions.
So I'm not sure I can even vote on this, but so I would have 3 questions that the board should ask. Is number 1, the drip space adequate? Because that's very close to Oneida Street, and we will have some icing issues, I'm sure. I would make sure that the producer for the vacuums are in the equipment room, so we don't have to deal with that noise for the brand new residents on the other side of this building.
Right.
And then there is going to be some complaints on the dryer noise. So we'd want to make sure they're going to stay within our noise ordinance for the brand new residents on the building right behind them.
Yeah.
So I'll defer those questions to the development team.
Okay. Could you state your name and address for the record, please?
Absolutely. Rodney Robinson. I am it's 1039 East Washington Avenue in Madison, Wisconsin. That is where my office is. To answer the question on the drip from the facility, we have a number of facilities in the Wisconsin area, in the Midwest, that are short distance from the roadways. The way that we mitigate that during the winter months, so the way that the tunnel itself is designed, and you're aware if you've dealt with car washes, it's a conveyor system. So most of the water and drip does go down into the conveyor in the trench. What we've noticed over time is that we're not seeing heavy run come out of the car wash and down the road. If there has ever been, for any reason, we actually manage that. So we salt anything. We have a team that is fully staffed at all times, all hours of the wash. So with it not being an automatic type of situation with a wash, they are stationed to make sure things stay safe, not just for the drip, but we don't want anything icing, anybody slipping as well. So we don't want cars slipping out into the roadway or pedestrians going across a walkway that comes across our drive. We are very much on top of that. So we haven't seen an issue with that.
So do you heat that exit though? The
We do heat
concrete
the exit at some properties.
on those?
We do have the availability to do it. So some are designed that way, some are not. Some are called legacy sites that didn't have that opportunity. The sites I'm referring to specifically in Milwaukee and Illinois that I actually oversee, no, none of those have the heated exterior portion there. So it is the standard drive, standard drip down the roadway, and again, haven't had any problems to date.
Actually, Dan, on the site plan, it does indicate a heated concrete pad at the exit for this one.
That helps.
Yeah. And the other question, if you wouldn't mind asking that again.
So the producer for the vacuum, I'm assuming that's vacuum tech. So is the producer in the equipment room?
With these plans, I know that we have the option to do interior or exterior. So traditionally, these sites that we do is what they're called new builds. They are on the exterior of the building, but they are the ones that are installed with these silencers. So as far as decibels go, I mean, that's something that we could get and provide, but in terms of disturbance, right now I have sites that are abutting apartment buildings or the one specifically 1039 East Washington Avenue where I am now. We have 2 residential facilities directly across the street that are about 8 stories high, and we do not see any complaints at all because of the producer. So it's not just that it's that system that it's contained, it's the way that it's designed. So we're not getting the whistling, the leaking, any of that. In terms of those blowers on the exit of the car wash, obviously that side of the wash would be facing the roadway. So again, those blowers are designed. They have silencers and cones if need be. Every single one of our washes where we have these designed, we meet the code of the municipality that we're in. So yes, there are some washes that are further out on roadways where it hasn't been a concern. And there's others where people have come in and said, hey, we feel like these should be a little bit quieter. And then we put the silencers on them. But to date, I don't have anyone at any washes that are upset or consider us to be a nuisance in the neighborhoods that we're in.
So let me ask this, Aaron. If we would get, because of that residential facility that's going up, if we would be getting complaints, and we've had complaints in other areas about noise, can we ask them to put the silencers or more silencers on?
Certainly. Yep. We make sure that, first of all, we make sure that either in compliance or non-compliance with our ordinance. If there's non-compliance with our decibel limit based on our ordinance, it would be a requirement to bring it down below the decibel limit. If we continue to complaints but they're in compliance with our ordinance, we don't have a hammer, but we certainly can ask them as being good neighbors to do it at that point. We'd be in constant communication with them if there's an issue.
Okay.
I think Dan's got some good questions here, but I am concerned about noise. We're building a premier resident building in that location. Noise cannot be an issue. It cannot be
Yeah.
because of the residents that we're building there. We got something there that is outstanding in this community that nobody else is putting up. And that would be, I'd shut that thing down in a heartbeat if I get one complaint on it. So I would say you're going to have to put what you can on that to keep that noise down.
What I can say to answer that is, in definitely response to you saying a premier facility, we obviously consider our locations to be premier facilities, and being neighbors and stewards of the community is what we do. A good example would be we have a Park Street location in Madison, Wisconsin. The wash sits here. Right behind it are $700,000, $800,000, $900,000 homes that face the lake. There was 2 complaints about noise at one time. So to give you that answer to what we're willing to do to invest if we need to, we did not have a building at the time to house the area where we vacuum the vehicles. That particular location is a full service location. So that's where people are vacuuming cars actively. We built that building. We put a $500,000 investment in to silence the vacuums in that area because it was a problem. Similar to you asking about the vacuum tech system. We did have an interior system at that location, but it vented through the roof. they felt like that was reverberating a little bit too loud. So there's a $1,200 silencer, I just happen to know the price of these, that was installed on top of that building to silence that sound. And our residents had never had an issue since. East Washington, where I mentioned, I'm directly next door to a residential facility and we don't have that problem. But what we are willing to do, and we continue to do, if there's an issue, we answer it. We don't play the, we're the corporate guy, we're the big guy in the neighborhood. When things happen, we can't get our business to be the way it is now by not taking care of our neighbors. And the neighbors are 90% of my.
Well, your neighbors are your customers.
Absolutely.
But I would advise you put on what you can right now because I do not want to hear a complaint on it.
Well, the biggest thing is it's a 55 and older.
Dan, if you could use your microphone. There you go.
It's a 55 and older community that's going to be living there. And you know what they got all time in the world to complain.
Absolutely. And so
Well,
let me speak to that in this way. The particular neighbor that had an issue with the Park Street location, retired educator, wonderful woman, but she said, look, I worked 45 years. I just want to be quiet here on the water.
Left alone. Yeah.
And we answered that complaint. She had tried to get along with her neighbors on it. They didn't want to make a fuss, but because she was upset, we made sure that she felt better. And we have earned the business of that entire community because of that response. But yes, we would definitely get in front of anything that we would consider to be an issue.
You know, we don't have what do I want to say? It's not a place where you're going to get gift certificates to have living in that community. It's a high end. We're paying a lot of rent to be there. And like we're saying, they don't want to hear noise. It's that simple. I'm not against what you're doing. Do you own the 2 car washes that have been built in the community?
Which ones?
What are they called?
They're
Clubs?
Club Wash. Yeah, they don't own those. No.
They don't? Oh, different people? Okay. Because I know those people built 2 in the last couple of years and they're out where there's no residents. I've been through them car washes. If you bought coupons for us, I think this would be a much simpler thing to get through, but you didn't buy any coupons for us, so we're asking a lot.
That wouldn't be good,
We're
Gary.
asking a lot of
No.
questions.
That wouldn't be good, Gary.
No, I already got one. All right, moving on.
So I don't know if I can vote on this. So I
What?
think if we got enough, I'd like to abstain.
Okay.
We have
I was going to say, if you don't feel comfortable voting on it, Dan, then,
Yeah, we got
then-
enough.
yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'd like to abstain.
okay,
Excuse yourself from voting.
okay. Any other comments, questions, concerns? Hearing none, do I have a motion?
All right, I'll make a motion that we approve where are we? Consider discuss the car wash, where are we? Come on up. Help me out here, computer.
BA 90.
Consider the Meister?
Mr.
Car wash 2314 Oneida Street. Take her away, Mary, you can finish
Okay,
it.
do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the site plan for Mr. Car Wash at 2314 South Oneida Street, parcel VA-99-4-2. Any other comments, concerns, discussion?
Just to be clear, that's with conditions, correct?
I'm sorry, yes, with conditions, Gary?
You got it.
Yep, and the second is with the conditions. Okay. Anything else? Hearing none, all
Keep it
those,
quiet, that's all I'm saying.
yeah, that we will get complaints if it's not quiet. All those in favor say aye,
Aye.
with one abstain of Dan. Opposed? All, motion passes. Okay, thank you. Do we have items for next agenda, Aaron?
I already have 2, yes.
Yes. We will be having a meeting, so I need a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.